Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. This morning, I received a ton of messages telling me that XRP is doomed, XRP is a goner, that this was just the beginning of the downtrend and whatnot, and I found it fascinating. Same story went on for BTC. People were bashing it into the ground, and if you check over Twitter or my comment section, you'll find a lot of people saying that it's all over. Stocks are falling, crude oil is falling, gold is falling. But today, funny enough, it has all turned around. On the hourly, we're up 10%, and this just happened, by the way, guys. This just happened a minute or so ago. Just when I started recording here, it just started to happen. Markets are turning around a little bit, and that brings me to 2 points. And one of them is going to be in this video, talking about kind of the negative side of things, even though we're ending with a positive conclusion, because I think these cryptos are fully alive and going to be golden. But make sure you watch this video to the end. And the second one is going to be a little bit more special, but you'll see that in a second. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want to see more crypto news. Make sure you comment down below what you'd like to see next, and press the like button if you enjoyed it. So first of all, of course, is this the end for Bitcoin? Well, for our own minds, a reason why you could say it's the end for Bitcoin is because of the correlation. There's a strong correlation between Bitcoin and stock markets, which a lot of people did not really expect, and thus it's also safe to say that the gold, also known as safe haven status that Bitcoin was supposed to have, was non-existent. Some people have called it kind of over for Bitcoin because of that perspective. Well, the big crash finally happened. Bitcoin lost more than 50% in its value in the past 48 hours, and a lot of altcoins crashed even more aggressively. This explains how we can never be complacent in a market like this, and we should always be on our toes. Previously, when the oil market crashed and prices declined more than 30% in a day, I specifically said that there is no reason to think that this cannot happen in the cryptocurrency market. I was surprised that it happened this fast, but I definitely was prepared for it. Now, to a lot of you that lost money in the past 48 hours, I just want to say that Bitcoin USD has been through tough times before. There's a very good chance that your investments will recover in value long term, and that there is a lot to learn from this recent experience. For starters, you may want to stop listening to people that keep going on being overly bullish on the market most of the time. These people have hundreds of thousands of followers. Why do they have such a large following? Well, people want to believe that the market is going to shoot to the moon. Unfortunately, this is a very immature and unrealistic approach. Most retail bulls don't feel that way, and I hope they have learned from these recent experience. A few weeks back, while Ethereum USD was trading well above $230 on TradingView, I posted an analysis about a decline down to $50. Most people in the comments there were overly negative and abusive. This you gotta recognize here. If anybody says XRP is going down to 15 cents, people are just gonna bash your skull in like crazy. They're gonna be like, you freaking moron, you're not a believer, you're hating, blah, blah, blah. But now it happened. And that's why it's also, I think, in my opinion, always good to be able to go over everything, because I see all options as open, right? If somebody tells me XP is going to 10 cents, I don't like it when they say that. Why? Because it doesn't give an explanation. But if somebody tells me, hey, Dusty, I've been checking out the chart, and I've been checking out this and that, and I think this is going to happen. I think XP is going to go to 7 cents, right? You believe it or not believe it, but that's what I think. I'm like, all right, dude, let me check it out. Let me see what you got, right? And that's what I normally do. I just take a look at everybody's opinion and see what they see, what I don't see, to get an overall view of the market in a better sense. Because, again, every individual, I think only maybe 0.01% will be right all the time. Not even all the time, I guess a couple of times. Most of the time, people are just plain out wrong. And that's talking about a short term. Over a long term, I think most of us are bullish, and I think most of us will be correct in that. But about short term, it's so hard to predict that I just like to watch all things. I like to not exclude myself to bullish only. If you go and take a look at them now, you'll find most of these people very silent, and all of a sudden because the price ended up falling towards $80. My purpose here is to serve the retail trader, to help equip the average trader with all my knowledge and experience to the best of my abilities. It does not concern me or bother me that I have been right and all these people have been criticizing me. I hope just they learn from this and stop listening to people they have been listening to and start listening to the people that are most realistic and have an actual track record of being right. The recent crash was not just about Bitcoin and the crypto market. We saw WTI crude oil, US oil, decline below $30 and the S&P 500 decline below the 200-week moving average. Most retail traders falsely believe that this is the first time it happened since 2008. That's simply not true. It happened before, and we've seen a rally follow after. Even in 2008, when this happened, we saw a rally towards the 50-week EMA first, before the index began a definitive downtrend. With the Fed planning to inject $1.5 trillion in the market in just 2 days as a bailout, I would not be surprised if we see a rally in the market in the near future. As for Bitcoin, this is certainly not the end. If there is one thing Bitcoin has done well throughout its trading history, it is to recoup its losses and surge higher long term. Definitely a good speech here by Jeffy Kahn. That's how I like to call him. I don't know how you pronounce his name, but a really good speech, really good article. Why? Because he's really right. Every time that the prices go up, people are like, yeah, wow. And if somebody criticizes saying, hey, I think it's going to go down, they're just going to bash him all the way down to the ground. And when prices go down, they're nowhere to be seen. And even if this applies to you, I'm not trying to hate on you guys. I'm just trying to say maybe it's better, possibly, it's better to take a wider approach to it all. Just not exclude your options to bullish only, but also include options of, hey, the price is going down lower. All right, now what will I do now? Or even if somebody tells you, hey, we might go lower, then just say, all right, what would I do in that case? Because as we see right now, not that many people planned for it all to happen, and a lot of people are overthrown. Why I personally and some other guys that I've been talking to are not overthrown is because all these scenarios we've thought about. I know what I'll do. I have a strategy in place. Everything is following strategy because you got to prepare for everything that's going to happen. Even if it go to 1 cent, I'm completely fine with that. And yes, guys, don't get me wrong. A couple of you guys commented that. They said, hey, you're being fake. You're crying right now. You want to get the XP price up. That's why you're being positive. But low key, you're crying in your corner of your basement, you fat pig. I see comments like that all the time. I'm like, no, I really don't mind a price going down because I have a set strategy where I'll be buying my way down with different layers, getting my average price as low as possible. And as long as I am bullish for this coin long term, I don't see any issue. That's my personal thoughts on the situation. That's why it's so simple. A lot of you guys say that's not possible. Well, it is. It is. I don't need this crypto money just right now, right? I don't need it to be XRP at $3 this second. I'm perfectly fine with waiting. And if the price goes down first now to be able to buy more, I'm completely happy with that. And yes, again, don't underestimate or don't misunderstand what I'm saying here. It is not nice to see prices go down. It's not nice to see your portfolio half in a day. Definitely not. And I would also maybe say that if I could choose to have prices only go up from here or only go down, I would of course press prices only to go up. But hopefully you guys get the idea. All right. Then here's just normal Twitter. Cointelegraph. Crypto traders explain what caused the Bitcoin price plunge to the $3,000. So I don't know if they did some programming here or what, because they're saying the Bitcoin price dropped to $3,600 overnight, marking Bitcoin's biggest daily drop in the last 7 years. Over $1 billion worth of longs was liquidated on March 12th, causing one of the most intense long squeezes in the crypto market's recent history. The main catalyst of the sudden 50% decline in the price of Bitcoin within a span of 8 hours was the 10% drop in the Dow Jones Industrial Average, or actually a 9.99%. The United States stock market experienced its worst sell-off since 1987 as panic over the coronavirus pandemic intensified to unprecedented levels. In the past 7 years, Bitcoin and cryptos in general have shown a high level of correlation with the US stock market, possibly due to all the overall drop in investors' appetite for risk or high-risk assets. Steep correction in the US stock market together with a lack of buying demand as Bitcoin price fell lower, fell to the $5,000 low levels, ultimately led to the price decline to $3,600. Well, personally, I actually did not see $3,600. Lowest point I saw was about, I think, $4,500. And for Bitcoin, I think the lowest was about 13.5 cents. I think on a couple of different places, maybe it was 13 cents. But here it actually got to 11.8 as well. And Bitcoin got to 4,100. Wow, damn it, guys. That's so mad. That is so insane to see. Who would have ever thought this a couple of months ago? Like, for example, 2 months ago. Who would have ever expected this to happen? Who? No, nobody, right? And by the way, if you're wondering, the stocks right now, S&P is up 10%, NASDAQ 10%, crude oil is up 7%, only gold is down. So that's kind of recovering, doing kind of good. Bitcoin price tanking again as Trump expected to declare national emergency. So, yeah, I mean, I don't really know necessarily if that's a bad thing. The markets feel anxious, but I don't know, it doesn't really correlate with this whole announcement, this whole procedure. I don't really think anything bad happened after all of this. So, I don't know. I think we should be waiting for this announcement. I don't know if this announcement has already been right now, right? Has it been or not? Because I think that might be doing something, but all the markets are doing quite good right now, so maybe he said something good. Maybe he said something positive, could be. 3 major positives from the crypto market meltdown. 1, crypto markets weather first major global crisis. So that kind of showcases what crypto are doing in global crisis, which is a good thing. Everything's trading at a major discount before the halving. So expected, a general opinion is that after the halving, prices will go up, or around the halving. And thus, right now, if you're buying, you're getting a good little discount for some cheap, nicey coins. And 3, strong bull markets usually follow steep corrections. So we got a good bull market the last couple of months. Now we got a big correction. I think the correction was a little bit bigger than the bull market, though, so I don't really see how that one would hold. But you guys get it, though. And Bitcoin Macro here says one of the big investor mentalities. Want to know how to get rich? Buy cheap when everyone is scared, then wait and do nothing. Sit on your hands, smoke some cigars, read some books, and continue to do nothing. Sell when everyone is euphoric, then wait and do nothing. Buy again when everyone is scared. Macro, Bitcoin. It's true, guys. It's the way to go. You know, most of the time, it's the way you gotta do this type of stuff, guys. Completely honest with y'all. It's the way you gotta do it. It's the way to make the big money. You just buy when everybody's scared and you sell when everybody's being too happy. And maybe in the midst of February, everybody was being so happy because Bitcoin was up 50% again. And now they're in full panic mode. And I guess you could have made a nice little 100% swing, right? In a very short time here. By buying the last time people were panicking, selling the high, and now buying the low again. Yeah. So yeah, I'm actually quite convinced. My conclusion is set. We're still going to head for some higher points in crypto right now. We just got to prepare ourselves and buy good chunks. This is not, however, financial advice. This is purely for entertainment purposes only. And even if I'm buying, doesn't mean you have to. Doesn't mean that. So you can always make your own decisions, own choices. As Jeffy Khan here said, again, don't listen to bulls only. Always keep it real. Always keep it realistic and think of every possible scenario. I'll always tell you guys exactly what I think. And right now, I don't know if the price is going to go down further or lower, further up or down lower. I just think I got to follow a strategy, which is layer my buys, and I'll explain more about that in my next video. If you guys are excited for that, make sure you press the like button and show your support by subscribing and commenting something down below. Please don't dislike because of the title alone. Some people do that. It's really bothersome. But yeah, if you watched all the way through, comment orange. If you watched this far in the video, comment orange. I'll see you guys again in another one.